providing hygiene supplies for women and girls in public restrooms for free. It's an idea that is taking hold on college campuses across the country and also in a growing number of cities. New York City, just this year, became the first to pass legislation to provide tampons and pads at no cost in its public schools, women's shelters, and also in jails. It's an idea that got rolling in Columbus and could potentially make a difference for women and girls here in Cleveland.
The first time I walked into the restrooms at Apple's corporate offices back in 1982 was the first time I had ever seen tampons and pads freely accessible in a public restroom, and I thought, why isn't it like that every place?
For Nancy Kramer, a Columbus digital marketing entrepreneur, it was a light bulb moment, one that ultimately inspired her initiative called Free the Tampons.
To me, tampons and pads are just like toilet paper. It's the exact same thing. It's there to tend to our normal bodily functions. And women have no control over an unexpected start to their period.
And nearly all women have been there. A study found 86% of women ages 18 to 54 years had started their period unexpectedly in public. And 79% had to improvise by MacGyvering a tampon or pad.
We have created this whole social norm that requires women to be prepared at any time, any day, any place. And we have not created a social norm that requires us to all carry around toilet paper.
One concern about offering these supplies for free is that girls will help themselves to a dozen instead of the one or two they need, something that has not been found to be a problem in New York City. But a Cleveland company has been working on a solution.
It's a women's health issue. It's a bathroom equality issue. It's a sexual equality issue.
Bill Heeman says the dispensers that Hospico produces hadn't changed much for decades. Get one for a quarter. Now they've designed equipment to dispense for free, but make it difficult for one person to empty the vending machine.
So what we did here is we put a delay in the dispensers. So when you push the button, it dispenses the product, but if you keep pushing, it's not going to dispense anything. You have to wait until the button resets. Then when it resets, then you can vend another.
It's an idea that could make a real difference here. For girls living in poverty, about 50% in the city of Cleveland, the dollars for these monthly supplies can be hard to come by, resulting in absenteeism from school to avoid embarrassment. And this isn't speculative. A study on the impact of these free supplies in New York City's public schools found it measurably increased girls' attendance. Not a surprise to Cleveland Clinic adolescent medicine specialist Veronica Isaac.
That makes sense. It keeps them in class. They don't have to worry about having accidents at school, and they don't have to worry about missing school for a week every month.
So the truth is that a menstrual cycle can be a barrier for a young girl attending school because of the humiliation, because of the lack of dignity, and the consequences of not having access to those items.
And ultimately, it sends a message to girls that their needs matter. So is this an idea that could take root here?
Well, Lee, I think this is a wonderful movement to make feminine products available in places where we need them.
Cleveland City Councilwoman Phyllis Cleveland says she thinks it's a conversation that can and should begin.
It's a question of health, it's a question of equity, gender equity, it's a question of dignity.
Councilwoman Cleveland also said that the solution may not be legislative, but more likely a private and public sector effort.